Hello folks, welcome back to the Matchday Tavern, the home of the World Cup Watchalong. How are we doing everyone? Lovely to see you all. We're midway through, well, we're very nearly end of the long FIFA World Cup opening ceremony at the Estadio Azteca. Historic stadium this, by the way, isn't it? Absolutely fantastic. Should be a great game. Yeah, really looking forward to watching the World Cup with you all throughout the tournament. I'm live for most of the games anyway. For most of the games, I'm going to be covering them live, and hopefully you'll be with me. So this is going to be a really, really interesting opening game. If you've not already, get yourself over to the FIFA World Cup Fantasy League. You can get yourself this beauty. You can win yourself this. I'm giving it away. Someone asked if they could have it. I said, go on, whoever wins the Fantasy League can have it. So if you want this FIFA World Cup, I will send it to you. You've got to win the Matchday Tavern Fantasy League. Go and get your team picked. The link is in the description. You can go and check it out. And you can go and see whether or not you can win the fantasy. See if you can beat me. I'm in there. My team's in there. How are we all doing anyway? How's the chat? Lovely to see everyone. Great to see everyone. Very professional, Key, that opening. You could have wore a suit though. Sorry, mate. I was considering it. Right. So, before we get stuck into anything, I do just want to say, as always, let me just get my act together. Come on, where are you, Key? There you go. Right. So, before we get stuck in, big thank you to friends of the channel, Oxford Natural, who are continuing to sponsor the Matchday Tavern throughout the FIFA World Cup. They are with us tonight. They are watching tonight. So, yeah, big thank you to Oxford Natural and the Optimum Day and Night supplements. If you want to go and check them out, please do so. The link is in the description. You can also scan the QR code, which is on screen right now. It's also on screen throughout the live. Optimum Day and Night is very much about, if you want to see the great results that people are getting, we've done this many times. You can see it over on the right hand side here. I always get it wrong. Is it this side? Is it that side? I don't know. Over this side, you'll see the great results of people who are in our space, right? Michael Owen, Ballon d'Or winner Michael Owen, Robbie from AFTV, KG's used them as well. And lots of great results. You can see, look at, the lady here on the right hand side. Lots of great results. If you're looking to make some positive changes about your health, same as I am, to be honest. Optimum Day is about keeping your cravings in check, about giving you energy throughout the day. Optimum Night about helping you to rest, reset, recover throughout the World Cup tournament and these early hour watch-alongs, right? So, well, not this one. This one's fine. The South Korea Czech Republic game will probably be a little bit more challenging. 3 a.m. that one. I am going to be watching that game, and I am going to be streaming that game, so hopefully you'll be with me. But yeah, listen, I'm not sitting here and saying I've been using them for months, because I haven't, but this is something I've been telling you guys for a while. I've been trying to do, make more positive changes. So if you want to go and check them out, you can do so. Link is in the description. You can use code KEY70 to get 70% off your first order. And thanks again to Oxford Natural for sponsoring the channel. And with that said, let's get stuck into the World Cup. The teams are in. The teams are on the right-hand side. Let me put them up. And we've got the stats. We've got the tables. We've got everything. There you go. They're all live there on the right-hand side so you can see them. Where are we up to? 2 allegedly best ever players lifted the World Cup at the Aztec. Wonder who will this year. That's it. Do you know what? Is the final here? I'm not sure if the final's at the Aztec, is it? Might be. Maybe it is. Oliver Dwyer, World Cup fantasy team locked in, taking a major risk bringing in Sadio Mane and Patrick Schick. Love the intro. Now time to enjoy the opener of this legendary World Cup campaign. Yes, mate. Welsh Wing, I don't do fantasy leagues. I forget about them after week 3. The thing is, I think for the tournament, because it's such a short, it's not like the Premier League fantasy leagues. With that, I agree. I'm the same. But for the World Cup, it's only 6 weeks, innit? You can put it on and basically just leave it. Cheers, all boxed up. I'll turn it on. Sorry, that's my fault. There you go. It's all on now. Yes, Vanch, how's it going, Timbo? I get Mexico and Brazil in a World Cup sweepstake. Andale, andale, Mexico. Right, hang on a second. Let me get the chat up on the other place. I'm not ignoring you, folks. I follow the Blues. I already missed the Qatar World Cup. Times are atrocious for this one. They're not easy, are they? They're certainly not easy. But listen, it's still going to be, I think, a really, really good, fascinating tournament. And the games that you're able to get up for, get up for. Didn't miss much, Key. The first chapter of the ceremony was shite. Well, listen, I've done an awful lot of research coming into this tournament. So I'm going to come across like I know an awful lot, because there's an awful lot of little interesting tidbits and, you know, pieces of information that you might not have otherwise picked up. For example, I'm going to share this with you. I have just posted a short about this, but did you know that the same World Cup record will be broken at this tournament 3 times in the next 3 days? Did you know that? That's one for your mates, that one. That's one for your mates. That's one you can share with the lads and the lasses down the pub or at work or whatever, right? 3 times in the next 3 days, the same World Cup record will be broken in this tournament. It's going to be broken tonight when Hugo Broos, the South African manager, takes charge. He will become the oldest manager in World Cup history, Hugo Broos. And then in 8 hours' time, when South Korea versus Czech Republic kick off, Miroslav Kubek of the Czechs, he will become the oldest manager in World Cup history, because he's 74 and a few days older than Hugo Broos tonight. And then in 3 days' time, at 6 o'clock on June the 14th, Germany play Curaçao. And Curaçao are managed by former Rangers, former Sunderland manager Dick Advocaat. Dick Advocaat is 74 years and a few days more than both Hugo Broos and Miroslav Kubek. So he will become the oldest manager in World Cup history. So there you go. 3 times in 3 days. The same. That World Cup. That's garbage. Look at that. Infantino's got the wrong World Cup. Mine's well better. Look at that. That's a joke, that World Cup. This one's well better. Well better. You can have that one instead. Thoughts on Rob Edwards being sacked from Wolves, Key? Do you know what? I'm ashamed that that's happened. I'm not a Wolves fan, but I am absolutely astonished that he found out that he was being sacked by his family reading the same stuff that we all did. They read a report about Fabrizio Romano saying, oh yeah, the manager of Gil Vicente is about to be appointed Wolves manager. He then phoned the club, and the club went, yeah, listen, Rob, we're letting you go. He was like, what? That's mad. Yeah, Bernardo Silva joining Real Madrid. That's good. I think that's really positive for him and for Madrid. Both very, very good. Both very good. Very, very good player. Very, very good move for him, I think. I think he's still got a lot to offer. Noah, I've got Jordan and Iraq in my sweepstake. I feel for you, Jordan. I feel for you, mate. Right, they're walking out. They are walking out. The pitch, look at that. It's glorious, that stadium, isn't it? Looks absolutely glorious. Graham went to Argos today and they're selling Lego World Cups at £155 each. Goodness me, 155 quid each. That seems expensive. I don't think. Good for Dick Advocaat, always seemed like a lovely chap. Well, do you know what? Dick Advocaat, apparently he quit, didn't he? He qualified Curaçao for the tournament and then he quit. Surprisingly, because his daughter fell ill, I believe. His daughter fell ill and he quit and then came back. So, yeah, it's a shame, really, that he had to leave, but he came straight back and he's now managing the World Cup, breaking the record. Love it. I love how openly this is a cash grab. Listen, maybe not Mexico and Canada, but the US. Capitalism wins. Curaçao, all the players are Dutch. Only one is not. Only one player was born in Curaçao. But yeah, Javier Aguirre's Mexico. Third spell in charge for Javier Aguirre. He actually played for Mexico in the 1986 World Cup. Javier Aguirre. He's been pretty consistent as their manager for a long, long time now. Mexico have qualified pretty much, every year. Every single year Mexico have qualified for the World Cup since the scandal of 1988 when they got kicked out by FIFA. They didn't qualify. Well, they did qualify for Italia 90, but they were barred by FIFA Mexico because they sent 4 overage players to the Under-20 World Cup. FIFA, apparently the Under-20 World Cup in 1988, FIFA was aware that countries were sending loads of overage players. You're sending loads of overage players, so they sent a message out to all nations saying, listen, we know that you're sending overage players to these tournaments. Don't do it. And Mexico sent 4. And a Mexican journalist actually uncovered it, did a report on it, and FIFA subsequently banned Mexico from all international tournaments for 2 years. And that meant that they didn't qualify at all for Italia 90, but they've qualified for every tournament since. And, in fact, the only time they've gone out in the group stages was in Qatar in 2022. They've gone past the group stages in pretty much every tournament since then. No, in every tournament since then. So, it should be a really, really good tournament for the hosts. I think Mexico, Canada, and the USA will all qualify. Shahid Key, have you got a flask of black coffee for the 3 a.m. kickoff? I've not, mate. No, I haven't. I don't drink coffee. I don't think I've ever had coffee. Look at that impressive show of support in the stadium. Great to see the stadium full. I don't even know this evening, Key. I'm never cheering the host nation as they didn't qualify fairly. Unless it's England. Come on, South Africa. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Jelly, is that the 1990 or 86 Argentina shirt you have behind you? No, it's a bit more recent. I'm not sure which year it is, but it's a bit more recent. Brain, I've been to Curaçao. Amazing place. I can't say I've been to Curaçao, but it sounds lovely. I've been to the Caribbean. Get some jugs of Lucozade and energy drinks. We need shabalala here. Well, listen, I'll give you the tip. If you've got time, if you're looking for a quick tip on this game, couple of things to note. Julian Quinones has just won the Golden Boot in the Saudi Pro League. 33 goals in 31 starts. He's been incredible out there. In fact, I think he's only behind Benzema and Cristiano Ronaldo in terms of goal contributions overall. Quinones has something like he averages, I think it's 4.5 or 5 shots per game. He's an absolute shot monster. right? So Julian Quinones to have a shot or a shot on target in this game, absolutely nailed on. Another thing to be aware of, this referee, the referee in charge of today's game, has averaged 5 yellow cards or more in his last 6, 7 games. I can't remember, but he gives a lot of yellows. He gives a lot of cards, this referee. So get on cards. I think cards is a smart one. Quinones to have a shot is a smart one. 6 of Mexico's last 8 games, they have won to 0. And they've all been 0-0 at half-time. Another shout for you there. Draw half-time, Mexico full-time is a good one. Mexico always win the corners. That's another good shout. South Africa, very, very little in the way of actual possession, domination. It's not... They're organised. That's kind of how South Africa play. Very, very organised. Yeah, you're not going to see a huge amount of innovation or energy and tempo from South Africa today. It's going to be about grit, organisation, determination. For Mexico, it's kind of the opposite. Javier Aguirre likes chaos. He is going to be someone that will, it'll be like frenetic transitions, proper 4-3-3. And he's actually only got 2 centre-backs in the entire squad, Shell says 8 p.m. kickoff. Yeah, 8 p.m. kickoff. We're already 2 minutes past that. That's just because the ceremony's gone over. Ian, what happened to 7:30, lad? Oh, I've got a new intro. I've got a new intro and I've got all sorts going on over on the other place, mate. If you go and check it out, it's actually quite cool. I'm actually quite proud of it. I've got credits now. I've got a theme song and theme music. And at the end of this live, by the way, you'll see I've also got an outro and nice closing credits. You'll see it. It's nice. Since when does Arteta manage South Africa? They are the Arsenal of of Africa. Of the international football. But yeah, the Bafana in good form. Raul Rangel in goal for Mexico. No, Ochoa, Gallardo, Vasquez, Cesar Montes, Israel Reyes at the back. Eric Lira is the number 6, that sitting in front of the defence. Gutierrez, Alvaro Fidalgo in midfield, and then that front 3 of Alvarado, Julian Quinones, the one to watch, and Raul Jimenez, 35 years of age. He's just gone back to Wolves. That's one to watch. And off the bench as well, by the way, Gilberto Moura. Keep an eye out on for him. Gilberto Moura is 17 years of age. He's the youngest player in the squad. He plays for Tijuana in Liga MX, so keep an eye out for him. For South Africa, do you know what? You're probably looking at Mbakazi. Mbakazi, a ball-playing centre-back, plays for Chicago Fire. He's probably one to watch. They're playing with a back 5, South Africa. But yeah. Mokoena of the Mamelodi Sundowns in midfield. He's that heartbeat in midfield. Him versus Lira in midfield will be an interesting battle. Especially given the conditions, the heat. Likes a shot from distance as well, Mokoena. Maybe we'll see a Shabalala type goal. Shahid, over 100,000 people in the stadium, Key. Wow! Any Vuvuzelas? Maybe they've brought some leftover Vuvuzelas. Trippier to Wolves is interesting. It is, yes. I think Trippier to Wolves will be a good signing, but I don't think he'd have signed without Rob Edwards being there, I'll be honest. I think they've conned him a little bit. Derek, what's your score prediction? Score prediction for this one is... I am going to go with Mexico 2-0. Mexico 2-0. It's going to be 0-0 at half-time, and Mexico score 2 in the second half. That's definitely one to watch. Do you know what as well? So, South Africa have got Ronwen Williams in goal. Ronwen Williams is a Yashin nominee. He was nominated for the Yashin Award, penalty saving hero in the AFCON. And again, plays for the Mamelodi Sundowns. He's going to be important today for South Africa if they get anything out of this game. And there we go, the World Cup 2026 is off and underway. We've kicked off. Finally. About time. Pete, they banned the Vuvuzelas. Did they really? That's annoying. That's frustrating. Right, why has the clock not started? Right, do you know what? We'll start the clock there. I'll just start it manually because it ain't working. There you go. Right. We're off and underway. Don't forget, by the way, South Africa got here in typically dramatic fashion. They were docked 3 points, if you remember, in qualifying. Absolute drama. They were docked 3 points for fielding Mokoena, who we've just been talking about. They fielded an ineligible player, South Africa. Were docked 3 points, and it looked for a long time like they weren't actually going to qualify. They fell behind, I think it was Benin. I think Benin very nearly made it. And then they got to the final day, and Nigeria, who also didn't qualify for the tournament, Nigeria thrashed Benin 4-0. And South Africa beat Rwanda. And that is what got them to the tournament in the end. It looked like they were going to miss out. But it's their first World Cup since they hosted the tournament in 2010. Gooners, Key Thomas betting tips brought to you by FanDuel. I've got lots of them. I've got lots and lots. Every single game in this tournament, I will give you tips on what to back and what not to back. Obviously, I have to be careful how I frame it. It's all advice. But Mexico to win the corners today for 100%. I'll be astonished. Like I said, the referee has averaged 5 cards in his last God knows however many games. So lots of cards. Be surprised if we see less than 3 or 4 cards. Mexico to win the corners. And Mexico or draw. South Africa, I think, averaged something like 1.2 XG across their last 5 games. They don't create many chances. Oh, that's a foul, referee. And that might be the first yellow card. Oh, that was naughty. Oh, hey, he's having a little word already, the referee. 2 minutes, 50 seconds in. Flew into the tackle there. Absolutely flew into it. Naughty. Leon Key, what game are you doing next? I'm live for South Korea, Czech Republic, mate. South Korea, Czech Republic, I'm live for in, the early hours of the morning. 3 o'clock kickoff, that one. I'm live from 2:45. So if you want to join me for that one, I will be live. Mercury, 33 degrees C here in northern Alabama. Any questions about hydration breaks? There's going to be hydration breaks every 25 minutes in this tournament. Here's Mexico's free kick, struck straight into the wall. 40 yards out when you put it in the wall. That's so poor. Mr. Al-Shamari, the 2026 World Cup song is one of the best I've heard. You just can't help but vibe to Shakira, can you? Nice. See you at half-time, mate. Take it easy, Ian. That boy Johnny, I miss seeing coaches in suits on match days like World Cups and finals. Well, Aguirre's gone smart, hasn't he? Javier Aguirre kind of looks a bit like a mafia boss tonight. Mexico, edge of the box, strike! Oh, what a save from Ronwen Williams. That was absolutely fantastic. Low down to his right-hand side. I told you that would be a big moment. The ball gets pulled back, edge of the box, and there's Jimenez. Doesn't look 35 years old, Jimenez. Doesn't look a day past 34 with a strike like that. Great effort. But Ronwen Williams had to get low down and push it wide. It's a corner to Mexico. Ball whipped in. Near post. Again punched away by Williams. Far post. Headed up but not quite away. And South Africa just about scramble it away. But Mexico have coming back. Oh my God. Get it away. And now South Africa can counter. Go on, lad. Oh, what a pass. What a pass. They're in. Oh, that was the moment. That was the moment right there. On his weaker foot as well. Pete, did you cook or colour last night, Key? I did both. I cooked. I had some steak at about 1:30, 2 in the morning. I know it's mad. It's mad cooking at that time, trying to get my body right on the new World Cup schedule. So yeah, I cooked at 2 a.m. Just had some thin pieces of steak, and then I spent the night doing research and colouring. Yes, Scouser, how's it going, lad? The old ways, World Cup darts on as well. I'm torn. Oh yeah, World Cup of darts. I saw that earlier. Yeah, Latvia are playing, aren't they? Timbo, pound for pound, I'd say Mexico are probably the biggest underachievers in football. Huge nation, football obsessed, and an established league, yet always bang average. I mean, I wouldn't go as far as bang average. There's a saying in Mexico. It's called an obsession. They call it the quinto partido obsession, because they've been knocked out in the round of 16 at 7 straight World Cups. There's something about that round that just does it for Mexico. And, I wouldn't back them going out at that stage again this time. There's obviously round of 32 straight after the group stages, but yeah, the quinto partido obsession. 7 straight World Cups between 94 and 2018. They were knocked out at the round of 16 stage. And in fact, the only times they reached the quarterfinals were when it was in Mexico, 1970 and 86, when Javier Aguirre, the coach of Mexico now, was playing for him. So that's the only times they've actually reached the quarterfinals. DJ Sonny Baines, hi everyone, how's your summer going? Very good, mate. How are you? Good to see you. Goal kick for South Africa. Ronwen Williams plays it out to the right-hand side. That boy Johnny, I'll be honest, we've never been good enough to make it past that game. We always have either a good attack, defence, or vice versa. Yeah. Not good enough, really. It's not been good enough for a while for England. Liam Key, do you remember Herving Lozano? What happened to him? I do, yes. Chucky Lozano he's called, isn't he? He has been dropped from the squad due to disciplinary issues. Left out entirely. He plays for San Diego FC now in the US. And that's kind of been the story of Mexico's build-up almost. Has been leaving out Chucky Lozano. Chucky Lozano is a bit of a star in Mexico, and yeah, him being left out of the squad due to disciplinary issues basically is the reason why. That's why he's not here, and it has been a big story in Mexico. They're in now. Mexico, Quinones. Oh, it's there. It's 1-0. Here he goes. Quinones, the one I said it would be. Quinones scores. It's 1-0 Mexico. 9 minutes in. Quinones with the goal. Oh, it's fun to be right. Quinones with the strike. The Saudi golden boot, and we have liftoff in Mexico. The Azteca erupted there. Look at that. Straight through the legs of Ronwen Williams. And it all comes from really poor South Africa defending. Really poor. They just couldn't quite. They tried to play out from the back. Ronwen Williams plays it in to the feet of Mokoena, I think it is, and it's just wonderful pressing. Oh, do you know what? Not good enough. Not good enough. It's not Mokowin, actually, it's Sitoli. It's a great strike, though. There's nothing the keeper can do there. Quinones low, straight down the middle, and it's straight through the legs of Ronwen Williams. What a strike. 1-0 Mexico. El Tri. Ollie Marley, are you going to sleep before the Korea game? No, I'm going to be staying up now. That's me done till... I'll probably be awake till about 9 a.m. and then I'll go to bed then. Egbert, how's it going? Gooners Villains, you were right, Key. I don't like to say. That was naughty. Again, I'm surprised the referee's not got his card out yet. Really surprised we've not had a card. Nutmeg of the Azteca. Do you know what? Another thing to... because obviously Mexico are the hosts. They've tended to do well when they have been hosts previously. 1970, 1986. They got to the quarterfinal. There's Hugo Broos. Won the AFCON in 2017 with Cameroon. Very successful coach with African sides, Hugo Broos. But yeah, anyway. Mexico, 1970, 1986, they hosted the World Cup. They did very well. They got to the quarterfinals. And South Africa are still the only hosts, I believe. Hang on a second. Where am I up to? Oh, there you go. That was what I was looking for. What was I saying? South Africa, the only hosts to beat the world champions, or to beat former world champions, and go out in the group stages. They beat France, South Africa, in 2010 when they were hosts, and went out. Mad. Jellyfish, do you get irritable when you don't sleep right, Key? No, not at all. Not irritable. I've got epilepsy, mate. So it's it's hard. You don't. The last thing you want is me staying up till daft o'clock and not having much sleep. I'll end up breakdancing. Corner for Mexico. Big chance. Oh, really should have got that one. And it's up in the air. Ronwen Williams claims it quite easily. Ronwen Williams throws it out. What are Mexico doing here? Great ball through the middle. But the pitch is quite quick, isn't it? Pitch seems to be quite quick. United Forever says that Williams should get a big move. He's getting on a bit now. I think he's 33, 34. He's been playing in South Africa for a very, very long time. He's with Mamelodi Sundowns. And as I said, he's got a really, really good reputation. But yeah, I think his time's kind of come and gone, to be honest. Yeah, time seems to have come and gone. He looks very, very young for a 34-year-old fella. Jelly, I understand key and epilepsy. I didn't realise. Is it bad? Well, it's bad enough that you can die. Yeah, it's bad enough that you can die if you have one and it's bad. So yeah, you don't want to have them if you can help it. But generally, as the old expression goes, if all men put their worries into a pile, most would be glad to take their own worry back than to take a share of everyone else's. That's kind of how I look at my life with epilepsy anyway. Got to be thankful for what you've got. It's not always, you'd always look at other people and think, oh, they've got it better and blah, blah. It's not always the case. It's not always the case. In fact, it's rarely the case. You never know what's going on with people. So you got to be kind. You got to look out for other people, but also just be thankful for what you have got. Kieran says, probably the best pitch you'll see all summer, mate, once we get to the American pitches. Well, do you know what? There's the game that's coming up at 3 a.m. is in Guadalajara. It's at the Chivas Stadium. The Estadio Akron, I think it's called. Is it Akron? It might be Akron. The Estadio Akron in Guadalajara at Chivas' stadium. There's massive controversy around that stadium because they had an synthetic pitch and they replaced it all. They've got natural grass there now. So that one should be fine. Basically, Mexican pitches seem to be okay. But yeah, the US pitch is definitely going to be a problem. United forever. We'll take him at United as a backup keeper. Better than Onana. What are we saying? Timbo, he looks young for 34. Key looks young for 64. On your bike. Number one security, how's it going? DJ Sonny Baines, my new track is nearly finished. It's called Lost in Space. Nice, mate. Nice, love that. Oh well, good. I'm glad you've maybe if you've got a link to it on YouTube or something after you've finished, let us know. Jellyfish making me worried about you, pal. I'm all right, mate. I'll be okay. I'm all good. Hey, if it happens one day, then it happens. There's nothing you can do about it. Worry about things that you can actually control. There you go. First yellow card of the game. And it's 17 minutes in. And I think it is Mokoena who's got it this time. Like I said, the battle in midfield between Mokoena and Lira was always likely to be a ferocious one. Shell, plenty of water, Mr. Thomas. Yeah, well, that's it. You know me, Shell. I've got my bottles. I'm all good. Timbo, 3 Lions or World in Motion? I think it's not even close. I personally think 3 Lions. Yeah, 3 Lions is that music starting up is. I know it's become a bit. It is though. It is the best, isn't it? Jellyfish, your daughter knows you've made many people happy with you doing this channel and streaming watch-alongs. Well, she's only little, mate. She's only a toddler, really. So she knows that flashy lights and stuff can hurt Dad's brain. So don't do it. Kieran, your accent always reminds me of that Simon Wilson off YouTube. Apparently he mentioned me. How true this is, I don't know, but someone said he mentioned me in a recent video when he took his mum to Rome. He said, oh, there's a TikToker that looks like me, apparently. But he said it in that weird, that Welsh accent that he has. Tactical touch, who are you tipping to win the World Cup, Key? I think it's going to be Spain. I actually think we're going to see a repeat of what we saw at the Euros. England-Spain in the final. Yeah, I think England-Spain final. Possibly. Ben says, Key, who's your favourite pundit, Neville or Carra? I like both of them. I actually think Jamie Carragher's really, really insightful. But I think Gary Neville... I quite like them both. And I never thought I'd say that about Gary Neville. But I quite like him. In terms of his football, I don't know, maybe his other stuff less so. But certainly his football stuff, I quite like how he comes across. Same with Carragher. I don't agree with the spitting. I don't agree with that at all. But I think his football stuff, he's very good. Quinonez with a strike. Oh, again. Told you this fella has loads of shots. We're only 20 minutes in. He's got a goal in his second shot of the game. Oh. Big Will says, Key, who does Quinonez play for? He plays in Saudi. I forget the team name now. Who does he play for? I don't know. Is it... Al-Qadsiya. Of course it is. Al-Qadsiya. He's managed by Brendan Rodgers, isn't he? Yeah, Brendan Rodgers. But yeah, listen, again, if you wanna win this glorious World Cup trophy, it can be yours. You just have to go and join the Matchday Tavern World Cup Fantasy League. Head over to the place that starts with a Y, the red button. Go and search Key Thomas, the Matchday Tavern. Search me up, find that, and you can see the link in the description. You can join our World Cup Fantasy League. If you win that, then this beautiful trophy is yours. I wasn't going to give it away, but someone in the chat asked for it. South Africa just can't quite get out of their own half at all, can they? Great play this by Montez. Excellent defending, and that's another foul and possibly a yellow card again. A lot of fouls coming in early, and the referee's pointing and saying, you know, one more. I think that's it. One more, and I think that might be you done there. Mud out. The right back flew into the tackle on Montez there. Razine, how's it going, Razine? Good to see you, man. New to the channel. Been a long time, hasn't it, mate? Lovely to see you again. Ben, my respect for you went up a lot after that answer to Carrot or Neville, especially as a Liverpool fan. I honestly, I have no problem with either of them, to be honest. CG, thinking about taking my 12-year-old just for the vibe. Ticks out of my price range. $1,000, mate. Stay away from that. Stay away from $1,000 for a game. Can't justify it. Should Liverpool bring back Darwin Núñez? If he's available on a free, I think there'd be a lot worse players we could go for. I don't even know I predict Key to win the Fantasy League. Do you want me to tell you my team? Yeah, let me tell you my team, actually. I'll tell you my team. Don't copy it, though. You won't copy it, will you? Here, let me tell you my team. So, my team is... I've gone with Jordan Pickford in goal. At the back, I have got Guella Doué of the Ivory Coast, who scored and assisted. Oh, what's the keeper doing? South Africa ball in, claim for a handball. Oh, I tell you what. Not sure about that, ref. Mexico got themselves in all sorts of trouble there. Rangel down the right-hand side. I think that could be a free kick, could it? Yeah, I think it is. Tell you what, South Africa... Oh, it's a yellow card. Yellow card for Gutierrez. Flew across there, Brian Gutierrez, and he's booked as well. We're on to 2 yellow cards. 23 minutes in. It's great to be right. Great to be right. I think Algeria could possibly get something out of Argentina. Well, listen. We've got... Sorry, let me go back to my fantasy team. I've got Guella Doué of Ivory Coast. I've got Hien of Sweden, the Atalanta defender. Pacho of PSG from Colombia, and Virgil van Dijk. I've then got a midfield. Get it, listen to this midfield. Elise, Wirtz, Cherky, Bruno Fernandes. And then up front, Kane and Haaland. Kane, Haaland, Elise, Wirtz, Cherky, Bruno Fernandes, Van Dijk, Pickford, Pacho. Mate, no one's beating me in that fantasy league. No one. Ball whipped in. South Africa cleared away. And City of Northville, second yellow cards, now get auto VAR check. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know about that. Ben says, would you have Diaz back at Liverpool, Key? Probably not. No. just because it would cost a fortune to get him out of Bayern, and, a very good player. Here we go, first hydration break, 25 minutes in. We've got our first hydration break of the World Cup. You aren't allowed to take Bruno, a year of slander. Well, I'm glad we've had our first goal in the tournament. 25 minutes in, we've got a goal, we've got a couple of cards. It's all looking positive. If Key wins, does he keep the trophy? I think that's only fair, isn't it? I think that this trophy's going nowhere, baby. I've got it. It's in the bag. I think the South American teams do really well, and I think Europe struggles with the climate. Colombia, Brazil, Argentina, and Ecuador, possibly in the quarters. Wouldn't put it past Mexico in the quarters as well. They've started well here. They've got to the quarters every other time they've hosted. Really good finish, that from Quinones. Fabulous goal. Really good goal. Big Will says, my fantasy midfield options are Brahim Diaz, Gana Gueye, Rafinha, Vinny Jr. and Bellingham. Wow. Shahid Key, was your intro good? Missed it earlier. Just rewind to the start of the video, mate. There's nothing happening right now for the next couple of minutes. Just rewind to the start of the live. You'll go and see it. Jellyfish, Welsy's getting the quiz ready for half time. Hey, it's a big game. Big first World Cup quiz. Who's going to do the 3 a.m. quiz, I wonder? I don't think Welsy's going to be here for that. I'm going to have to do a quiz at 3 a.m. I don't even know. I've gone for Raya, Gabriel, Saliba, Delo, Robertson, Yildiz, Bellingham, Xhaka, Cherky, Kane, Havertz, Neuer, Upamecano, Musiala and Son. Nice. I'm surprised you went with Son. Giving you a big Arsenal fan. Big Will Gaming. My fantasy midfield options are Brahim Diaz, Gana Gueye, Rafinha, Vinny Jr. and Bellingham. Nice. Good game so far, says Aftab. Yeah, it's been very good. Enjoyed it. Mexico 1, South Africa 0. 27 minutes on the clock. Did Diana Ross retake her penalty? What, when she smashed it wide? Smashed it wide and the nets erupted. Scuba says, dear God, they're running commercials on US TV during the hydration breaks. Not good enough, is it? Welsh Ring, no chance for the Welsh quizzes at 3 a.m. Oh, you're such a part-timer. Absolute part-timer. Why have they got GTA music playing in the stadium? Maybe it's a deal that Rockstar have done to promote GTA 6. Big Will Gaming, what's your Czech Republic South Korea score prediction, and which players do you think will score? Probably if anyone's going to score, I would say it'd be Schick. Patrick Schick from the Czech Republic. Leverkusen centre forward. They absolutely dominate on set pieces, Czech Republic. So, corners, probably dominant on corners. South Korea, by the way, average height of South Koreans starting 11 is likely to be somewhere around 180 centimetres. And I think Czech Republic have got 4 players who are over 193, including Souček and Krejci and Schick. Big lads. So, you would imagine that they will be dominant on free kicks and corners when that time comes. Ben, who do you think will have a better tournament, Key? Messi or Ronaldo? Oh, Messi. Yeah, Messi. I saw Messi against, was it Iceland the other day? Argentina played. Just an unbelievable player. There's a nice little moment in that game as well. Messi came off the bench and he, at the end of the game, young player walks up to him. Oh, Mexico are in. They're in the area. Pull it back. Hit it. Oh. Scrambled away by South Africa. And they just can't get the ball forward at all. There's nobody hanging on to that ball. They've got to find an out ball. The Bafana. No chance at all of them getting out here. Mexico are just dominating possession. And every time the ball lands at the feet of one of the South Africa defenders, they're just pumping it long. And it's going straight back into Mexico's defenders, and then, you know, the rebuild starts again. It's too easy at the minute. Far too easy. Chris Morley, Stagmore, 2-1 to Mexico. And Hiller says, Key, your tip seems spot on. I don't like to brag, mate. I don't like to brag, but there's an awful lot of research. I've been researching this tournament and these games for months. Absolutely months. Building up to this tournament, knowing that there would be heavy amounts of research would pay off, and I think they have. The referee in charge, lots of yellow cards. How many yellows are we on at the minute? Is it 2 or 3? 2. 2 yellow cards. Quinonez to have multiple shots on target. He's had 1 scored, and Mexico to win to 0 as well. The Old Way says, who do you think the most overrated England player is of all time? Like, massively hyped by the media. Gascoigne. Paul Gascoigne. Yeah. Paul Gascoigne, very good player, but again, stupidly over. Paul Gascoigne is not even close to John Barnes. Not even close. Yo, how's it going, mate? I don't even know, says Sarah. Saka is dragging along an injury. Who starts? We don't want to risk it. Yeah, Saka, I mean, he played 20 minutes at the end of the game against Costa Rica last night, didn't he? Dan, did you finish the Messi story? Sorry, Dan, I didn't. I do this all the time. As soon as there's an attack, I get dragged off on it. Yeah, young player walks over to him in the Iceland game, and it turns out it was the son of Ida Gudjohnsen, who obviously Messi played with at Barcelona. So a young player walks up to him, shakes his hand and says, oh, hey, you know, you played with my dad kind of thing. I don't know if he said it in quite them many words. I don't know if he said it in that phrase, but he did say, you used to be a teammate of my father, Ida Gudjohnsen. And Messi's like, oh, no way, you're his kid, and I'm playing against you on the pitch with you. That's amazing. So that was nice. Jonathan Woodgate, Gaz is the best natural player ever. He could do everything. Welsh ring, but Key, he eats sickly sausage rolls and goes out fishing with Paul. Johnny Five Bellies. What would be your World Cup 5-a-side team, Key? This World Cup or all time? Jellyfish Gaza, if he went to Man United, then Fergie would have helped him. Not sure how true that is, mate. At the end of the day, there's not an awful lot you can do with players who just don't really want to... Not players. People who don't really want to help themselves. You know, at the end of the day, there's a lot of footballers who very, very talented, but just didn't quite make it, you know? Or didn't quite reach the potential. Do you know what? Another one. Listen, you say Ferguson would have made a difference with Gaza. He didn't make a difference with Paul McGrath, did he? Paul McGrath was under Ferguson. Paul McGrath, notorious for, had issues with alcoholism, was very honest about that, missed a lot of football matches because of his alcoholism. And he actually played, I'm sure he did interviews where he said, I played football while I was drunk. But most people would tell you that Paul McGrath was a wonderful, truly top quality centre-back who could have been anything. Could have been one of the best in the world, but didn't quite. And the same with Gascoigne. So, yeah, I don't buy the idea that if Gaza had gone to Manchester United, he'd have been a completely different player. He might have been a bit better. standards-wise, but I think he was a flawed genius, wasn't he? That's how Gazza was. He played on the edge and... Evening, Dan, how's it going? I don't even know, says England will win a match 1-0. Thomas Tuchel will not sing the anthem. I went to a Gazza evening event and Gazza openly admitted that Fergie wouldn't have done anything. He's an alcoholic. His words. Oh, another good save from Ronwen Williams. Big chance again, Raul Jimenez. Puyol looks ancient now. He's with David Silva and others. Yeah, Cantona, fly-kicking fans. Exactly. Cantona wasn't exactly well-behaved, was he, under Ferguson? DJ Sonny Baines. England needs a manager to invite every English player from the Premier League to say that you have a quality to win any tournament. You have to put your club rivalries and your egos away. Chris Morley Stagmore, as the grumpy old man round here, you are wrong on Gazza. He should have been and would have been as good, if not better, than Messi or Ronaldo, but ruined and self-sabotaged himself. Maybe you're right. I personally disagree. I think John Barnes was a far better player than Gascoigne, far more talented, and yeah, just could do everything. Everything that Gascoigne could do, I think Barnes could do just as well, if not better. But yeah, I don't believe Gazza would have been helped by Ferguson in any way, because Ferguson didn't help others. You know, like I said, Paul McGrath didn't. He didn't change in any meaningful way. Paul McGrath, Steve Bruce should have played for England instead of Martin Keown and Tony Adams. Great player, Paul McGrath. Don't forget, if you're watching and you want to join me for the Taeguk Warriors, South Korea versus Czech Republic at 3 a.m. UK time, I'll be live for that one as well. Not sure there'll be too many in the UK doing watch-alongs for South Korea versus Czech Republic, but I certainly will be. Graham Gazza pushed the self-destruction button. A lot of players do, isn't it? It's, you know, and you just can't really help someone who doesn't want to help themselves at the end of the day. DJ Sonny Baines, I went to see Ryan Giggs-Key. Nice. What did you make? What did you make of him? You never took your missus, did you? Dan, the late night shift, sod that. Not sure I can stay awake. Layla Begum, hi Key, how are you? I am good, thank you. How are you? Good to see you. Pete, I was an alcoholic and I wouldn't listen until I wanted to. Sober 3.5 years. Oh, congratulations, Pete. That's a hell of an achievement. Amazing, mate. Well done. Yeah, there's a mate of mine who's had to take that step as well, and he's not quite 3.5 years in, but it's, you know, it's taken him an awful lot. So that's amazing, mate. Well done. That's good. Really pleased for you. Big Will, so are you going to sleep in the day? That's what I've tried to do gradually over the last 2 weeks. Is just shift my body clock onto a nighttime schedule. Oh, great ball forward, unlucky. That was better. Yeah, so I'm now kind of sleeping at 9 a.m. in the morning. That's when I go to bed. Get up about, I don't know, maybe 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Get up, go and see my little girl, chill out, and then live again at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. We're live 8 o'clock tomorrow night for Canada versus Bosnia. So, There's lots and lots of great games coming up. South Korea, Czech Republic at 3 a.m. tonight. Then we've got Canada, Bosnia at 8 p.m. tomorrow, followed by Scotland versus Haiti. Scotland, Haiti, 2 a.m. Peter Beardsley was a fantastic footballer. Handsome man as well, wasn't he? Key, if I don't make it to the 2 a.m. game, I'm either having an emergency, asleep, or dead. I'd never intentionally miss a match. Hey, don't worry, mate. Listen, you do what you need to do. If you're here, I'll appreciate it. If you're not, don't worry about it. Are you doing Germany, Curaçao? I am. I'm doing them all. As many as I can do. Believe me, I'll be doing them as many as I can. 3-star, these early morning watch-alongs may increase the channel subscriptions if the word gets out that there is an early game watch-along to join. We shall see. Yeah, we shall see. I'm hoping so. I guess we'll have to just see what happens throughout the tournament. I did like Peter Beardsley. Five minutes to half time. Mexico have been on a real journey to get to this point. They lost 3 straight finals to the USA, including on penalties in the Gold Cup, a game that we watched on this channel last year. Or was it the year before? Can't remember. But they won the 2025 Nations League and the Gold Cup as well. Great ball in. Mexico chance. Roman Williams with another big save. Oh, it should have been. Do you know what? This could have been 4-0. Could have been 4-0 half time, this. It really could have been. Oh, cheers, Ben. What a guy. Appreciate that, man. Layla, what do you think needs rebuilding in the summer for us? For Liverpool? 6 or 7 players, probably some of which are very experienced. We can't keep signing kids and then wondering why we have a squad that's very naive. Quinones again, strike! Oh, that's... Pull back! Hit it! Quinones! Off the post! Oh! That's so frustrating. It should be. Quinones could have had a hat-trick in this game already. I'm so gutted I didn't put him in my fantasy team. He's had 4 shots in this game now. One of them just hitting the post. Absolutely fantastic. Pete, tell your mate it gets easier. I still go to the pub, just listen to others make an arse of themselves. I think you need a bit of restraint to do that, mate, and I'm not sure my mate's... He's a lovely fella. I'm not sure he's got that. He won't mind me saying. He's about to become a dad as well, to be fair to him. So he'll need to learn even more restraint at some point. Aftab, take it easy. Chris Morley Stagmore says, no question on Barnes, brilliant player, and also in hindsight, look back at Gaza. Look at his mad wildness and how he spoke about how his mind worked. Would say he probably had or has odd EHD. Could be, yeah. Certainly could be. Alcoholism is high in ND people as it quietens the mind and it becomes addictive. News to me. I've never really been a big drinker, to be honest. I don't really know what my crutch is, to be honest. We've all got our vices, haven't we? But no, I'm not really into... Alcohol's never really been my thing. Don't drink, don't smoke. What do you do, as Prince said. It wasn't Prince, that was Adamant, wasn't it? Not Prince. Come on, Key, wake up. What do you make of 125 million for Elliot Anderson? Is it going to be 125? Apparently it's Oh, South Africa ball in, headed away. Yeah, if it's 125 million for Elliot Anderson, I think it's a ridiculous number. A truly ridiculous number. Football analyst Joe, hello Key, excited for the World Cup, but I have to get surgery on my back. Wow. Mate, that's... listen, we're all rooting for you, mate. I hope you're okay. And you're in the best place at the end of the day. You're in the best place for it. I'm sure these people are incredibly talented, geniuses, and they look after you. We're very blessed in this country to have the NHS. So, wishing you well, Joe. Hope you're okay, mate. Let us know how you're getting on. Chris, football is your vice, clearly, mate. There's worse vices, isn't there? Mexico down the left-hand side. Williams comes out and smashes it away. Excellent stuff. Sir, my ex-father-in-law is an ex-alcoholic until a quarter of his brain sank, and they told him if he drinks one more, he'll be dead. 14 years sober now. Wow. That's amazing. Chris, have you discussed the madness at Wolves? Briefly, yes, we touched on it briefly. The madness at Wolves, it is mad. It is crazy. It is absolutely crazy what's happened with Rob Edwards. Craig, hi mate, how many World Cup games are you aiming on watching? Might be even less than Japan, Korea for me. So far, I have 71 scheduled. So I think there's 104 total. But that includes all the group stage games. The final group stage games are all played simultaneously, obviously, and I'm not going to watch them all at once. So the final group stage games are always played at the same time. So you've always got a choice on the final group stage games. So yeah, I've got 71 diarised. It might well become a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. I don't know. It depends on how I feel. The AT&T Stadium has a capacity of 90k or so. Dallas' stadium. Jimenez has played well. Surprised he's not scored yet. Jimenez has done quite well, yeah. He's had a couple of chances. I think Quinonez has been the star of the game. Greg, evening key. I've got more vices than Miami. Good lad. And Layla says, Key, do you think what Trump did to the Iran game a disgrace? Why? What did he do to the Iran game? I wasn't aware he'd done anything to the Iran game. Thanks, everyone. Just a bit anxious. Hope to see everyone when I'm recovered. See you soon. Make sure you do, mate. Please do come back. Let us know how you're getting on. We'll all be thinking of you, buddy. But yeah, I'm sure it'll be absolutely fine. I get that it's anxious. I get you'd be anxious about it. So, not in any way telling you to don't be anxious, but you're in absolutely the right hands, and I'm sure you'll be absolutely fine. And we're all looking forward to seeing you when you come back. So go and get it done. Head down, get it done, and when you come back, we'll chat footy. Johnny says, for the record, this is not the El Tri I've watched for the last 3 years in prep for this tournament. These lot are other guys. Oh, what a pass. Mexico are in again. Should be 2. Oh, he scuffed it. Just as we're giving Mexico real credit to... They probably should have killed this game off. Gutierrez, he got in the box there. Really, really good play. And just drags it. Not good enough, that. Scuffs it. Bit of a toe bunger, that, isn't it? He's toe bunged it wide. Mexico really should be more in front than just 1. Chris says Trump got the Iran supporters' visa tickets pulled. All of them. So they've got no supporters. I wasn't aware of that. Well then, yeah, that's a disgrace. That's ridiculous. Right. I think that should be it for this game. For the first half anyway. It's 1-0 Mexico. The referee has blown up, I think, for half-time, has he? Yeah, there you go. Half-time, Mexico 1, South Africa 0. What a mad start to this first half. Crazy. What a mad start to the tournament. And with that said, Welsh, have you got us our half-time quiz? Layla says, Keegan, you do a collaboration with Don Hussam? No. No, not my thing, mate. Half-time quiz, A to Z, African players with the most World Cup appearances since 1990. No Q, no X, and no L. A to Z of African... Jesus Christ. A to Z of African players. Right. So, half-time quiz. A to Z, African players with most World Cup apps since 1990. Get your answers in the chat. Right. Get your answers in the chat. Here we go. African players with the most World Cup appearances since 1990. You've got to say Touré's got to be in there. I'd be astonished if Touré's not in there. Eto'o, Drogba. Yeah, I think all those are very good shouts. Very fair. Come on, Key. You've got to find a page to do it on here. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Right. Okay. So, Drogba is D. Well done. If you want to join in our halftime quiz, get your answers in the chat. The question is, the A to Z of African players with the most World Cup appearances since 1990. D is Drogba. T is Yaya Touré. E has got to be Eto'o, hasn't it? E is Eto'o. It is. Given that we're watching South Africa, we've got an African-themed question. Rigobert Song, Babangida, Babayaro, H for Hakimi. Hakimi is right for H. A is Ayew, Andre Ayew. Good work. What about Jan? Asamoah Jan for G. It's not Kanu and it's not Song. Okocha, Elise. G is Jan. Love that. Asamoah Jan. Straight in. Essien. What about E for Essien? Yeah, good answers. E for Essien. Possibly. R for Radaby is not a bad shout. I don't think... See, South Africa, I think, only got to the World Cup in 98 and then they got back to it in 2010. I don't think they've played since or before. Jacques Songo. Excellent. I like that shout. R is Radaby. I'm surprised by that. The player with the most World Cup appearances with a surname starting R is Lucas Radaby. I am very surprised. Roger Miller. Again, did he... I don't think Roger Miller was only at Italia 90, wasn't he? Don't think he was at USA 94. Oh yeah, E was Eto'o, so it can't be Essien. Diouf. What about Diouf? D for Diouf. No, D's Drogba. D is Drogba, E is Eto'o, A is Ayew, H Hakimi, G Asamoah Jan, R Lucas Radaby, T is Yaya Touré, Z is Ziyech. Ziyech, former Chelsea, Ajax, winger, JJ Okocha, I'd have thought so. Kalou, what about Kalou? Solomon Kalou. Mahrez for M. I'd be astonished if that isn't right. Weah, George Weah. Chris, he was at 94. Was he really? I stand corrected then. I stand corrected. Shabalala for T. Rigobert Song, says Ian. It's not Rigobert Song. It's not Kalou. Choupo-Moting. I'm trying to think of Senegalese players who've gone far, because it was Senegal, wasn't it? M is Mikel. M is John Obi Mikel. Senegal have done well for a while. They've been kind of one of the dominant African sides since 2002, haven't they? So I would say... Oh, Cisse. Could C be Cisse? No, C is Choupo-Moting. Choupo-Moting. Trying to think of African players beginning with F or B. What about B? Andre Bike or Oman Biik. Yakubu. Could be. Yakubu's not a bad shout. Any Tunisians on that list? Radi Jaidi, maybe. Radi Jaidi played at the World Cup. Former Bolton and Birmingham defender, Radi Jaidi. Trying to think of other Tunisians. Maybe Ben Slimani. Alex Iwobi, for sure. Yeah, I would imagine Iwobi's there. Aubameyang. We've already got Ayew, so it can't be Aubameyang. Joseph Yobo. Yeah, could be Yobo. It's not Baresi. Baresi's Italian, mate. The question is, half-time quiz, A to Z of African players with the most World Cup appearances since 1990. It's not Iwobi. Sadio Mane. Cisse, Tony Silva. Tony Silva was the Senegalese goalkeeper. Kalidou Fadiga of Senegal. What about Kalidou Fadiga, former Inter Milan and Bolton midfielder? Boateng, Kevin Prince Boateng, could be, Ghana. Salah, yeah, maybe Mo Salah. Salah's not really been to any World Cups, has he? Probably the last one, 2022. Radi Jaidi for J. Oh, Key's on fire. Radi Jaidi and Asamoah Gyan. Couple of curveballs from Key there. Y is Yobo. Well done. Yobo is Y. Right, so we're missing B, F, I, K, N, O, P. Don't think we had a Q, did we? Yes, Bryce. How's it going, mate? Lovely to see you. Obafemi Martins, Jack Songo, Henri Camara, Bonu. What about Bonu for Morocco? Yeah. Yassine Bonu could be a good shout. Joseph Desiree Job, says Egbert. Former Middlesbrough centre-forward. Papa Bouba Jop. Can't be Jop because we've got Drogba. Abedi Pelé. Could be Abedi Pelé, yeah. Benzema possibly. Can't be Benzema. Nuruddin Naibet. Naibet's not a bad shout. Didn't Naibet play for Spurs very briefly? Yeah. Yohan Kabul as well. Or Yunus Kabul, rather. Yunus Kabul. Who did Yunus Kabul was French, wasn't he? Benny McCarthy. Again, don't think... Benny McCarthy, when he was good, South Africa weren't really great. I don't think they qualified for a lot. Sofiane Boufal is B. Sofiane Boufal. Former Southampton midfielder. Lauren. Yes, Lauren was African and he did play at the World Cup. So Lauren could well be L. I don't think there was. Did you say there was an L? Yeah, Lauren. Lauren played at a World Cup for Cameroon. Abedi Pelé didn't play in a World Cup, did he? Well, he's highly thought of. I thought he might have done for Ghana. Francois Omanbiek, JJ Kocher, we've tried. I'm waiting on Welsh here. Kazri, Wabi Kazri, Koulibaly. Have we got K? We haven't got K. No K. Koulibaly, Kazri. Wasn't Lauren French? No, Lauren was from Cameroon, mate. Yeah, Lauren 1,000,000% was Cameroon. Babayaro. F-I-K. Not a Kocher. It's not a Kocha. That's surprising. Ghana qualified for the first time in 2006. I wasn't aware of that. Again, stand corrected. Pienaar for P. Stephen P. Again, I'm just kind of steering away from South African players because I don't think they didn't play in enough World Cups. K is Koulibaly. Koulibaly is K. Okay, so we're missing, correct me if I'm wrong, FINOPQSUVW and X. I know there's a few letters that we haven't got. Kamara for C. It can't be Kamara for C. You've already said it's Choupo-Moting. You can't have multiple answers for the same question. You've already said it was Choupo-Moting. Mark Fish. Mark Fish is not a bad shout. Yeah, Mark Fish did play for South Africa in 98, but they didn't qualify in 2002, did they? Was Igalo African? Odion Igalo was Nigerian. Again, I don't know if he would have played when they qualified. Vivian Foe. Could be Mark Vivian Foe. Yeah, Mark Vivian Foe definitely played in 98 and 2002, I think. I think he did. Quinton Fortune. Really? That does surprise me. I is Igalo. Nice work. Okay, so we need NOPQSUVW and X. Webo. Pierre Webo, that one was, wasn't it? Pierre Wome, sorry. Illiman and I. And Kulu. Papis Cisse, says Stephen Walker. Ian, what if they have the same amount of caps, Key? It's not caps, it's appearances at the tournament. So what you're looking for really are African teams to who have gone far in multiple tournaments, really. So far we've got Jordan Ayew, or Andre Ayew, sorry. Andre Ayew is A. Boufal, Choupo-Moting, Drogba, Eto'o, Quinton Fortune, Asamoah Gyan, Ashraf Hakimi, Igalo, Radi Jaidi, the Tunisian centre-back formerly of Bolton and Birmingham. Koulibaly is K, Lauren is L, John Obi Mikel is M. There is no X or Q, okay, so we can wipe those out. Yobo was Y. Lucas Radaby, former Leeds legend Lucas Radaby is R. Yaya Toure is T, and Hakim Ziyech is Z. So we are waiting on NOP, SUV, and W. Canute. We've already got Koulibaly. Chris Morley Stagmore says, mate, South Africa's been at 4 World Cups. I know, but they're all quite spaced out, aren't they? Quinton Fortune would have been at 94 and 98, but they didn't qualify for 2002, did they? They didn't qualify for till 2010, and he was already retired. That was, I guess, my point. Lucas Radaby, Mark Fish, Quinton Fortune probably would have qualified. They'd have been in those group stages, but I didn't think they would have been maybe in there. Odin Wingy's not a bad shout. Yeah, I like that. Odin Wingy's a very good shout. Yeah, it's not a Kocha. Ian says you could have 2 players for the same letter if 2 players have the same amount of apps. Well, they could. Yeah, I guess they could, but I mean, so far we've not got that. I'm gonna trust in Welsh Wing's authenticity. Right, we're waiting on W, V, U, S, P, O, and N. I think, Welsh, you're going to have to give us some clues, mate, because we're approaching the second half here. We need your... I think we're going to need some help here. Welsh Wing is God. Quizmaster's always right. The Quizmaster is always right. Never get it wrong. Abel Javier. Abel Javier was born in Mozambique, but he actually played for Portugal, didn't he? Always Mozambique. I said him. Always Mozambique. Okay. I did get Mozambique. I definitely said him. Utaka, Uche, for you. Who else have we got? We need N, P, S, U, V, and W for African players. The African players with the most World Cup appearances since 1990. We're doing an A to Z. That's our halftime quiz. An A to Z of African players with the most World Cup appearances since 1990. So, for example, Andre Ayew, he has the most appearances for someone with the surname A. Players are back out on the pitch. Welsh, you're going to have to pull your finger out, mate. We've not got long. You is Uche. Surprising. Wouldn't have thought that one. Right, we're off for the second half here. We're off and underway for the second half. Salisu. S is Romain Saiss. Oh, Romain Saiss. I'd never have got that. Taribo West. Taribo West I like. Mexico are in again. Must be. Oh, South Africa are living on the edge here. They keep trying desperately. What a strike. Oh, just over the bar. Oh, tell you what. Lucky, lucky boys here, South Africa. W is Wome. Pete said that. V is Valerie. Jan Valerie. Would never have got that. And N is Nkulu. George Nkulu. P is Pantsil. Jonathan Pantsil. Great. Like that. Well, there you go. That is our halftime quiz. And thanks again, Welshing. Love that. Our halftime World Cup quiz. Given that we're watching South Africa, we've gone with an A to Z of African players with the most World Cup appearances since 1990. And that was the quiz. A is Ayew. B, Boufal. C, Choupo-Moting. D, Didier Drogba. Again, players with the most appearances with their surname starting with that letter. Drogba, Eto'o, Fortune, Jan, Asamoah Jan, Hakimi, Igalo, Radi Jaidi, Koulibaly, Lauren, Mikel, and Kulu. Oman Biik, Pantsil, Radaby, Saiss, Yaya Toure, Uche, Valerie, Worm, Yobo, and Hakim Ziyech. There you go. Excellent quiz. Very difficult one, but I like it. Great work. Let's change over to full strike from distance again. Quinonez with another strike, another shot on target from Quinonez. He's just gone for from the halfway line there. He's gone to lob the keeper. Mr. Turnables, can't believe I forgot Pantsil, my countryman. Not good enough, mate. Not good enough. Right, there you go. Half-time quiz over. Thanks again, Welshing. We're off for the second half. 48 minutes on the clock. We've already had a couple of shots on target. I also promised you, by the way, didn't I, that I would do. I'd have some little tidbits for you to discuss in quiet moments in the game. Little pieces of information about the countries that we're watching. So, let's do Mexico first. Mexico, one of the hosts. Capital city, Mexico City. Oh, they're in behind here. They're in behind. Big chance. Must be a penalty and a red card. And I think it's going to be a red. It's got to be a red. I think it is. It is. It's a red card for South Africa. 4 minutes into the second half. We've got a red. Free kick on the edge of the box. Gutierrez runs through on goal. And it's Sitol who... He's had a bad game, this fella. He's had a really bad game. He was at fault for the first goal. Svefilo Sitol. The ball gets played through. Gutierrez is one-on-one with the keeper, and Sitol has just dragged him down. He's onside. There's no doubt about that. It's a lovely pass. He's one-on-one with the keeper. Yeah, there's just a tangle of legs just outside the area, and I think that it's as clear as day, isn't it? It's a red card, South Africa. It's a red card for South Africa. We've got a red card in the opening game of the tournament. Who'd have thunk it? It's a shit show from shithole. And now the free kick on the edge of the box. Raul Jimenez is going to take it. Red card and a free kick to Mexico. Mr. Turnbull says, whatever happened to Giovanni Dos Santos? He was supposed to be the Mexican Ronaldinho. Just didn't quite make it count, did he? He got opportunities at big clubs, but just didn't quite, never quite kicked on. Did all right at, came through, big promise at Barcelona. Went to Spurs, just, again, didn't really do an awful lot when he was at Spurs. And never really made it count anywhere. He ended up at Villarreal for a long time. Remember at Villarreal for a few years. And then, he went to America then, didn't he? He was at Galaxy for a long time. Jimenez, strike, into the wall. Gutierrez. And wide. It's going to be a goal kick. Quinones, man of the match. I think so, Had a Mexican man charged with murder. Police asked why. He said tequila. I like it. I love that. Love jokes like that. I was just in the middle of telling you all my little facts about Mexico as well. Did you know that the national dish of Mexico is called mole poblano? Which is a rich, slow-built sauce of chilies, spices, and chocolate. Chilies, spices, and chocolate. They make a little sauce, and then they pour it over turkey or chicken. Great tackle. It's going to be another corner to Mexico. But yeah, how's that? A little bit of education for you. Mole poblano. A slow-built sauce of chilies, spices, and chocolate. Would never have said chocolate. A chocolate sauce to pour over your turkey or your chicken. They don't have that at Taco Bell, so it can't be right. Oh, hey, well, there you go. And here's a random fact as well about Mexico City, where the game is. I actually knew this before I did the research. But Mexico City is slowly sinking. As a city, it's built on a drained lake bed. And parts of it drop by several centimetres pretty much every single year. So Mexico City is sinking, and I don't know how long it'll take, but in time it just gradually won't be there. And South Africa's national dish is bobotie, which is spiced minced meat baked in a golden savoury egg custard. I would never have had that, to be honest. Spiced mincemeat baked in a golden savoury egg custard. What is it with people mixing meat and sweet things? Mexico are having, meat and chocolate sauce, And South Africa are having egg custard with minced meat. Egg custard and spiced mincemeat. This is weird. I mean, hey, we're all for culture. Maybe that's what I need to do next. Maybe we need to have the national dishes. I should have done that, shouldn't I? I should have prepared I should have got myself some mole poblano and some bobotti. Mexico professional artists can pay their federal income taxes using their own artwork instead of cash. This unique program called Pago en Especies. Nice. City sinks at a rate of roughly 10 to 20 inches per year. I didn't think it was that much. South Africa driving forward. This is better. I'll stick with shepherd's pie. Great ball over to the left-hand side. South Africa down to 10, but they've got to do something to get back into this one. Got to try and take some risks now. And there's a long way to go in the game as well. I mean, there's never an ideal time to get a man sent off, but if you're going to get a man sent off, ideally you want it kind of last 10 minutes. When you're chasing a game, you can afford to go gung-ho in the last 10 minutes with 10 men. What you can't do is afford to throw the kitchen sink for 40 minutes plus when, you know, you're already losing. You can't really afford to do that. Mexico will pick them off on the counter-attack, and they know, South Africa will know, Hugo Broos will know that a second Mexico goal ends this contest, completely ends it. Talking about Mexico, one of my favourite memories from '98 was Blanco's bunny hop. Yeah, Cuauhtemoc Blanco. An incredible player, Blanco. Wish he'd come to the Prem. Do you know who I was always glad did come to the Prem? Jared Borghetti. Do you remember Jared Borghetti? Scored a wonder goal for Mexico against Italy, I think it was, in 2002. Ended up coming to the Prem via Bolton. Excellent player. Do you think Rafa Marquez is the greatest ever Mexican player? Ooh, that's a good question, actually, isn't it? Greatest ever player for both of these nations. Let's talk about it. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Thank you. Who's the greatest ever Mexican footballer? I think Cuauhtemoc Blanco, Jared Borghetti would be up there with Rafa Marquez. And South Africa's greatest ever player. Again, maybe Lucas Radebe. We were talking about him earlier, right? Ochoa for Mexico. Yeah, I mean, a very good keeper, but never quite worked out when he came to Europe. Holding in again down the right-hand side. Jimenez, great play. South Africans just about get it away. They give it away. It's too easy, that. Far too easy, and that's going to be a free kick and probably a yellow card, you would imagine. Cards are plenty in this one. Ben, what do you think of Liverpool being linked with Dwayne from Fenerbahce? Can't say I've ever heard of him, mate. Never heard of him. Zuma. Yeah, Zuma was very good, wasn't he? Yeah, Zuma was brilliant. What was his first name? Montibuso. Montibuso Zuma. I think I've spelled that right. Or Sibusio. It was Sibusio Zuma, wasn't it? Sibusio Zuma. I think so. Yes, Sibusio Zuma. Excellent player. Yeah, I'd say Blanco for me. And yes, I do remember Borghetti, another great Mexican player. Love it. Sean Bartlett. Yeah, Sean Bartlett, of course, from Charlton. Again, very underrated player. Mark Fish should be another one. Mark Fish was a great centre-back for Charlton. Did really well. Ollie, who do you think will win the World Cup? Me, Spain. Yeah, I think Spain. That's my take anyway. Bunny chow is a South African street food consisting of a hollowed-out loaf of white bread filled to the brim with burning hot, spicy Durban curry. Lovely. Sounds delish. No, it's not Stephen Bartlett, Andy. Stephen Bartlett is something entirely different. Sean Bartlett was the South African centre-forward who played for Charlton. Stephen Bartlett is the host of a podcast. I have, Matty. Yeah, I have. I've seen Endo's retired from international football. Very sad. Mr. Turnbull says the math models guy said Netherlands would win. He did. Yeah, he's predicted Netherlands. I mean, Netherlands is my kind of dark horse. I said that for a while, but you can get 20s you can get for Netherlands. 20s. That's a lot. That's high. For a team, they've got some real talent in there. De Jong, Gravenberch, Van Dijk. You know, you look at the back line, Van Hekke, Van der Ven, Roofs, Verbruggen. They've got Premier League talent aplenty. Gakpo, real talent in that side. You would think they would be a side that would be taken seriously at the tournament. They've made it to finals. They've never won a World Cup, but they've got to a lot of finals. You know, you've got to imagine that the Dutch will at some point make the step up. Where was Kevin Lisby from? I think Kevin Lisby was Jamaican, wasn't he? Ben, what's your favourite World Cup ever? 2002, mate. Yeah, South Korea, Japan. That's. I mean, France 98 was the first proper one that I remember. I did catch bits of 94, but I was still a little bit too young to really appreciate 94. France 98, I had a book with all the players in. I was properly into football by that point. Just adored it, and I watched every single game. And I watched all the highlights and loved it. I really remember watching Scotland and Brazil in 1998. Can vividly remember that game. Netherlands are like the Arsenal of international football. No, they're not that, mate. Netherlands play good footy. I'd love to see the Dutch finally do it. It's insane they've never won it when you think of the talent they've had over the years. Yeah, they've always been an entertaining team as well. Adam says I was only born in 94, so 02 was my first one I remember watching. Yeah, Senegal's run was great in 2002, wasn't it? And not just that, but South Korea. The whole controversy with South Korea and Italy. South Korea making it far as hosts. That game was rigged, wasn't it? That was so corrupt, that game. That South Korea-Italy game. $1990, Roger Miller, only a diving Gary Lineker got Cameroon knocked out. And City of Northfield says South Africa are the only World Cup hosts who both scored an all-time iconic opening match goal and still became the first hosts ever to get knocked out in the group stage. Well, till Qatar, of course, did that. But yeah, they weren't great hosts. And I imagine, Saudi Arabia will be hosting it as well themselves in a few years, won't they? Quinonez is going to get booked here. Is he? Nah. Oh, that's ridiculous. Look at him. They're saying a high foot there. DZ Solid says Japan can defeat the Netherlands, in my opinion. Game's gone a little bit flat, hasn't it, since the red card? It feels like, if anything, Mexico are looking at it and going, well, what we have, we hold. We're not going to go and try and kill the game off. We're 1-0 up. We're quite content. South Africa aren't really offering any threat at all. They've just dropped 10 yards, haven't they? They've just dropped a little bit, Mexico. And that's dangerous. Even, against 10 men, you can't do that. You've got to stay on it. Especially in an opening game of a tournament. If South Africa were to pinch one back, great ball in. It's not good enough, actually. There's a claim for a penalty. Very soft claim for a penalty, I think. You're never going to get it. Funny how they wanted to cancel the Qatar World Cup for alcohol, but are okay with the US World Cup. Well, it's not the US World Cup, is it? You've got to remember, it's not just the US here hosting. It's the US, it's Canada, and it's Mexico as well. So you've got 3 nations hosting it. The US are partially responsible for the ridiculous ticket prices and the transport and the hotels and all that sort of stuff. Did you hear about that fella, by the way? There's a fella who he contacted a bus company. It was all over social media earlier today. Contacted a bus company, a coach company rather, in the US, and arranged for, I think there was 173 people to be transported via coach to England's game against Ghana, which is on... It's the second game we play, isn't it? It's the second game England play. Either way, he arranged for that game, for transport for that game, and it's less than 2 weeks until England play Ghana. And all the people they paid him, contracts were signed, everything, and they've gone back to him like the day of the tournament, basically, and said, we need another $4,000 from you, or we're going to have to cancel this because we've not got enough coaches. So we need $4,000 from you, or we just have to rip up the contract. We can't fulfill it. But he's taken money off like 173 people that were expecting the coach to turn up and take him. It's a long trip. It is quite a long journey. Is it Dallas? I don't know where it is exactly where they're going, but wherever England versus Ghana is. When England win the World Cup, the trophy was stolen in London and found hidden in a bush by a dog named Pickles. Very true, yeah. Cheers, Shell. Thank you very much. Robert Key, will Victor Munoz be a good signing for Newcastle? No, dreadful signing. Awful signing. At that point, put it on a credit card and do a chargeback. I feel really sorry for the guy because he's like, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't want to let down 170 odd people who've paid me money in good faith. But at the same time, this company's like squeezing the life out of me and saying, I need another $4,000. Where'd you get that from? I mean, that just makes the whole... I imagine it makes it not profitable at all for him. He'd probably be doing it for a loss. Ball whipped in. Big chance. Mexico must be 2, and it is. It's Jimenez. 2-0. Get in there. Vamos. Raul Jimenez. Get in there. 2-0. 67 minutes on the clock, and that game, it's done. It's finished. 2-0. South Africa down to 10. They've not really offered much of a threat, South Africa, but Mexico, it's been a great opening game, this. Fabulous atmosphere in the Azteca. And we're just getting some drops of rain. You never see that in Mexico. Some drops of rain. And Raul Jimenez, tears. What's he crying for? Points to there's Canelo. Emotional Raul Jimenez. What a ball in this is from the left-hand side. Absolutely fantastic cross. Oh, it's a brilliant cross. Jimenez tapping, really. It's a great header. Nothing that Ronwen Williams can do. Too easy, that. But what a ball in from the left-hand side. I think it was Alvarado who puts the cross in. Long live Mexico. Welsh, do you know which World Cup game had the most red cards, Key? In 2006, you say? I don't actually know. I don't really remember the 2006 World Cup, even though I was still relatively young. I don't really remember a lot about it. I think it's his first ever World Cup goal. Yeah, Alvarado with the cross, Jimenez with the header. But yeah, Gutierrez, who was on a yellow card. We've got a hydration break here now. Gutierrez, who was the player who ran through and was brought down by Sitol, he is off the pitch, and on comes Luis Chavez of Dynamo Moscow. He goes into midfield just to shore things up for the last 20-30 minutes. And Gilberto Mora. Gilberto Mora coming on, 17 years of age. Very, very talented boy, doing really well in Liga MX at Tijuana. 17 years, I think he's made 20 appearances, and he's got 7 goals and assists in those 20 appearances this season. And at 17 years old, I know it's not the biggest league, but Mexican league is still a very, very decent one. And there's Ochoa, the veteran of Mexican football. Will we see him in this tournament? It was Portugal v Netherlands. Deco, Costinha and Boularus all got sent off. Boularus, remember him? Khalid Boularus. Serra wasn't Real mates with Jota. Could well be. Maybe it is a Jota tribute. Possibly. But it was a really good cross, wasn't it, from Alvarado? Last 20 minutes. Andy, he'll play for Real Madrid one day. To be honest, I feel like if you're coming through the ranks and you're flying at 17, 18 years of age and Real Madrid don't sign you, you're probably, unless you go on and do well somewhere else, you're probably never going to play for Real Madrid. Real Madrid tend to be buying up young players a lot in the last 5 to 10 years. As soon as they get really good at like 17, 18, they go and pay big money for them. We saw that with Nico Paz. Sent him out and they've brought him back from Como. Mastantuono, Rainier, Rodrigo, Vinny. Ryan, are you watching any of the early morning games? I am indeed, yes. I am live for the 3 a.m. game tonight or tomorrow morning. South Korea versus Czech Republic. I'm going to be awake and watching that one. Should be good fun. Looking forward to it. Real has interest in Denzel Dumfries. I thought they'd already signed him. Quinones out to the left. Here's Jimenez. Gets in the area. Oh, offside. Yes, let me be frank. I'll be sticking here then. Good lad. Yeah, we'll be back in another... Well, once this game finishes, obviously we're going to watch the rest of this game, and then I'll be back in about 2 or 3 hours for... Well, it's not going to be 2 or 3 hours. It's going to be more like 4 or 5 hours, isn't it? For South Korea versus Czech Republic. Wataru Endo announces retirement from international football. Very sad to see. It was always a bad... Oh, they're in again here. Mexico claim for a penalty. Must be. Oh, my God. He's absolutely wiped him out. He's wiped him out here. That's got to be a penalty. He's not even tried to play the ball there. If he's onside... Oh. He's not even tried to play the ball. That's got to be a penalty. Raul Jimenez gets in the area. I mean, it might just be outside the area, but I tell you... That's ridiculous. You can't do that. He's just ran into him. He's just ran into him. You can't do that. Never a pen. Let's get a check on that one, please, ref. He was cracking his back. Another yellow card. It's great fun being this right, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 cards. The referee averaged 5 a game. We've got 4 so far. Joe, what are you doing between the matches? I don't know. I've not decided. Probably just chilling out. It's only fun being right when you gambled. Well, who says I didn't? That was a little bit nasty, wasn't it? I thought he'd do better there. Surely that's a red. Hit him in the face, throat. He just ran across him. There was no intent to play the ball there. Zero intent. That reminded me a little bit of the Cameroon defender in Italia 90. You might remember it. Italia 90. He ran across Caniggia. Claudio Caniggia of Argentina was sprinting down the right-hand side. And I don't remember who the Cameroon defender was. It might well have been Oman Biek. I can't remember, but he just completely wiped him out. Reese's Footy Feed, South Africa seem very unlikable, boring, disjointed, slow and cynical. They're the Arsenal, mate. They are the Arsenal of South Africa, of African football. Whoa, another naughty tackle, but just about lucky he got the ball. They're diving in, aren't they? Really heavily. South Africa, really going for it. Sure, Shell, food key. Yeah, I might have some food. Something to just, push your circadian rhythm, to let your body know that you're absolutely not going to bed. I don't want to start winding down. If I just sit there, I'll probably start to drift off like that. So I'm probably gonna go and have something to eat. Jimenez and Lira come off. Edson Alvarez coming on. Edson Alvarez of Fenerbahce, just back from ankle surgery. And Gonzalez comes on for Raul Jimenez. Jellyfish says these countries have no idea. Have a taco, key. Can't say I've ever had a taco. Modiba and Reyners come off. Couple of changes for South Africa. Modiba and Reyners off. And who's coming on? Apolis and Mac Gopa. 1 sub remaining for them. Pete, it took 73 minutes for it, but we got it. Can we get a check on that, please? For the first time in 32 years, we've seen a red card in a World Cup opening match. That South African player is only the 5th person ever to get sent off in a World Cup opening match. Didn't know that. Thank you for that. Who was the last player to do it? First time in 32 years, you say. So what, we're talking Italia 90. What was the opening game of Italia? Sorry, not Italia 90. USA 94, wasn't it? USA 94. What was the opening game of USA 94? According to this one, USA 94 was United States versus Switzerland. Was there a red card in that game? That was the opening game. No red card in that one. No red card. It cannot be. It can't be 32 years. It must be longer. Either way, that fact can't be true. The opening game of the 94 World Cup was Germany v Bolivia. Oh, was it really? Oh, wait, well, I get it. I apologise. I stand corrected. Let's have a look again at that then. Germany versus Bolivia. Klinsmann scored. Vega's come on. Alexis Vega comes on. Germany v Bolivia, 1-0, Klinsmann. Oh, yeah, there you go. Marco Echeverri was sent off. Ah, look at that. That's brilliant. Liam McClintock, 94, because that was the year I was born, and I'm 32. Love that. I'm 36, mate. I'm a little bit older, only a little bit, though. Yeah, Marco Echeverri. I remember him from the Champ Manager games. Last 10, 11 minutes of normal time. There is young Gilberto Mora. Barged off the ball. Bloody hell, Jelly. Keep it light, mate. Keep it light. Got a sponsor to protect here. Good grief. Mr. Turnable says, do you think an African team will ever win the World Cup? Yeah, I don't see why not. It wouldn't surprise me, let's be honest. Morocco went far. Senegal have gone far. Both have got really good sides. I think Senegal and Morocco could shock a few. Clarky, are you staying on TikTok or going until later? I'm going until later, mate. I'm not staying live for another, 4 hours? 5 hours? No, I'm going to go and chill out and I'll be back in about 4 or 5 hours. Vuyo, when's your next watch along? 3 a.m, mate. 2:45 a.m. I'm going to be live for South Korea versus Czech Republic. The next game, second game of the tournament. I'm going to be live for that one. I'm live for pretty much every game coming up, like the next few. So we've got this one now. We've got South Korea versus Czech Republic at 3 a.m. That's in Guadalajara. Zapopan, I think, is the region. It's at the Chivas Stadium. Estadio Akron. I don't know what it's called. Either way, it's there. It's in Guadalajara at Chivas Stadium, and South Korea will face Czech Republic. So we shall be live for that one at 2:45 a.m. UK time. And then I'll be live for Canada. Another one of the hosts. Canada versus Bosnia tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. We're live for that. And straight after... Oh, hey, the referee's going having a look at something. Can we get a VAR check, please, sir? What's the check for? What's the check for? Have we got a potential penalty here? What are we getting a check for? What's the check for? Possible red card. Ooh. Nah, you're getting a red card for that. Behave yourself. Nah, it's not a red. That's not a red. Don't send him off for that, ref. Don't send him off for that. Nah, it's not a red. That's just a scuffle, that. That's silly. You're not having a red card for that. I'm sorry. That's ridiculous, referee. Don't send him off for that. It's a possible red card on South Africa. They could be down to 9 here. And I'll tell you something, he's having a long old look at it. I don't think there's enough in that. Nah, come on, I'm sorry, that's ridiculous. That's not a red card. It's not a red card. I think he's going to give it, though, I'll be honest. Here we go. Red card it is. He's going to speak to the Azteca. And I think he's going to give the home crowd what they're hoping for, which is a red card for South Africa. And the Bafana might be down to 10 men here. This is not a great day for South Africa. They could be down to 10. Sorry, down to 9. I don't think that's a red at all. South African player hit the Mexican player, says Graham. I don't think he touched him. I mean, it is. He's given a red. It's a red card. It's crazy. South African players looking like who? Who? You, son. You. Red card. There you go. Off you go. Second red of the game. And we have the 5 cards that I said. Themba Zwane is sent off. Zwane, who's only been on the pitch for about 20 minutes. He came on as a sub 20 minutes ago. He's been sent off. The sub comes on, the sub's sent off. Madness, what we're witnessing here. 2 red cards in the opening game. I don't think that was a red at all, I'll be honest. I thought that was silly. Jelly, love you, Key, as a brother of truth. Ah, oh, you're a sweetheart, mate. Love you too. I love you too. Can't believe it's a red. I didn't think that was a red. I really didn't think that was a red. South Africa down to 9 now. Yes, Harley. How's it going, Harley? Wouldn't classify it as a red, but that's the decision, I guess. And history made. First ever 2 red cards in the opening match of a World Cup. Yeah, I mean, listen, history is made tonight anyway, because we're going to see 2 red cards in the opening game of the tournament for the first time. We're also going to see the record broken for the oldest manager in a World Cup. Hugo Broos, the South Africa manager, 74 years of age. As I said to you earlier, that record gets broken 3 times in the next 3 days. Because Hugo Broos becomes the oldest manager to manage in the World Cup for South Africa. Well, the oldest manager to manage in the World Cup, full stop, at 74 when he managed this game. That record gets beaten in the very next game when South Korea play Czech Republic, who are managed by Miroslav Kubek, who is also 74. He then takes the oldest World Cup coach ever record from Hugo Broos, just hours after the opening game. And then on June the 14th, in 3 days, 3 days time, less than 3 days, at 6 p.m. Germany will play Dick Advocaat's Curaçao. And Dick Advocaat is older than both of these managers combined. No, he's not quite that old. But he will be the oldest ever coach in a World Cup. So the record gets broken 3 times in 3 days. Ben, are you still watching every single game, Key? I'm watching the vast majority, mate. I'm live for Czech Republic and South Korea at 3 a.m. Ball down the right-hand side. Mexico, are they going to try and make it 3? I wonder. In the area, chance. Gilberto Moura. Just couldn't quite get onto it. South Africa scramble it away. You've just got to try and get out of this now with some sort of pride intact. Make sure they don't get battered. You know, a 2-0 defeat is... I mean, that's what I predicted before the game, isn't it? I said 2-0. Joe, what games are you not live for? Several. Yeah, several. Okay, that's all I'll say, because there's a lot, isn't there? If you think about it, mate, there's 104 games. Said to you earlier that 70-odd that I'll be doing. So, to answer that question, I'd have to give you 30-odd games, wouldn't I? So, yeah, lots. Lots is the short answer. How Cameroon never won it in the 90s surprised me. They always had a really good side, didn't they, in the 90s, yeah. Wasn't Patrick Mboma up front in the 90s? Yeah, Jack Songo. Jeremy kind of came in later, didn't he? Rigobert Song was there. What match is this ref doing next? Easy money. He is doing... Oh, I've got it written down, mate. I'll have it for the next stream. Liam Key, you're doing the 3 a.m. game tonight. I am, mate. Yes, I'm live for South Korea, Czech Republic. Mr. Turnables, how old was Ottmar Hitzfeld in 2010 when he coached Switzerland? Younger than 74 is all I can say to you. Ottmar Hitzfeld is currently 77. So in 2010, he would have been 61, wouldn't he? Joe, I thought you was doing every match of the World Cup. Can't do every match of the World Cup. Not possible. Serena was talking about red cards, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, I thought she was on about the team winning the tournament. I mean, Cameroon were one of the favourites in terms of African teams. Anyway, that Cameroon side were very well respected. Well, I didn't have anyone in this game for my fantasy league, so I've not really made a dent in any of the points. Yes, love that City of Northville. Love that. I thought I was going to need sleep too, but after taking Oxford Naturals, I have more energy than ever. Slimmer too. Key, you'll be proud. The Inverness boys have made New York their bitch. Love it. Cameroon v Argentina, Key. Cameroon could have easily had 3 red cards in that game. Yeah, that was the one, wasn't it? Where they smashed Canada. I remember that one. Look after yourself, Key. Cheers, Shahid. I'm trying to, mate. Trying to. Raul Jimenez dedicates his first ever goal to his father that he lost recently. Oh, that's sad. I wasn't aware of that. Yeah, Raul Jimenez's dad. That's why he was so emotional when he scored. His dad passed away and he scored his first ever World Cup goal in the opener in the Azteca. That's beautiful, isn't it? That's really lovely. You never know what people are going through, but that's if you could have written a moment for him to score in the Azteca World Cup opener for your country. That's beautiful. That's really nice. Great story, that. South Africa. Oh, that's a clear. He was in the area there. It's a clear yellow card. I mean, that's a possible red, I'll be honest. That's a possible red. He's absolutely swiped him out there. He's absolutely wiped him out. The referee's having a bit of a whinge here. It's a red card. He's off. It's a red. I told you. This referee. What did I tell you about this ref? He's an absolute. I'm telling you. He's an head case, this ref. 3 red cards. I told you. Right. Follow the tips. That's all I can say. Follow the tips. The research is paying off. This referee, 3 red cards. He's just absolutely bodied him. It's a red card for Mexico. We've had 3 reds in the opening game. Goodness gracious me. Ref's got his hat-trick. Oh, I didn't touch him, ref. I mean, do you know what? That was very similar to the Cameroon one against Argentina, wasn't it? That was a very similar type of tackle. He doesn't even try and play the ball. He's just completely smashed into the player. And Cesar Montes is now going off the pitch. Well, 22 players becomes 19. Please never let the Americas do another World Cup. This is ridiculous. The refs run out of cards. Reece, not the last man and not dangerous. I don't really get it. I would argue, Reece, he's not last man, but it's a deliberate stopping a goal scoring opportunity. He's breaking into. He's in the area. He skipped past him. He's in the area, and he has just completely wiped him out. That is about as cynical as it gets. He's made no attempt to play the ball. Oh, what is that, though? South Africa, you absolute donuts. Oh, I can't believe he's just done that. Free kick attempt at the edge of the box, and what's he done? Rolled it basically to a Mexican. Thought it had to be a clear goal-scoring opportunity. No, I think if you've got to remember there's no attempt to play the ball. No attempt at all to play the ball. He's absolutely just gone for the player, and he's wiped him out. I can totally understand that being a red card. I think, you want to see red cards given for stuff like that. Because there's no attempt to play the ball at all. That's not like, oh, sorry, ref, he's done me and he's absolutely just gone to take the player out there. That's like, he might as well have rugby tackled him. If that was a rugby tackle, you wouldn't have said anything different, would you? What the hell was the point of that tackle? They're 2 up with a few minutes to go. He deserves to be sent off for his stupidity. You know what? And this is it, mate. I don't think... Yeah, there was nothing to risk. He should have pulled out of that tackle. Is it a harsh red card? Possibly, but I can understand why he gives it as well. So he takes the chance, Montez. He takes the chance, and now, misses the next bolt. We've got a lot of players missing the next game. This has been the best World Cup opening match in the history of the tournament. Not. Why? I like it. I quite like this game. I think it's been a really entertaining one. It's been even more fun that all of my predictions have come true. Honestly, I'm just so gutted. I had the referee averaging 5 cards, right? 5 cards in a game. He's cleared that. Mexico to win 2-0. Said it. Mexico to win the corners. They have. And Julian Quinones, shots on target. He's had loads. Yeah, I think it's only one. It's only one game, the US Ryan. Rob says it's been utterly shite, Key. Why? Why do you think it's been shite? That surprises me. Why do you think it's been shite? I think it's been a really good game. Played at walking pace and the Mexican crowd may as well have been in lockdown. No noise. Mexico, ball in. South Africa head it away. Into the last 30 seconds here. If we had another 20 minutes to play, we might have ended with a game of 5-a-side. I've quite enjoyed the game, I'll be honest with you. I really do think it's been decent. For an opening game, usually these are quite cagey contests. The one and only, are you doing the game at 3 a.m? I am indeed, mate. Yes, I'll be live for South Korea, Czech Republic at 3 o'clock. All being well. Jimmy Key, how long are you sleeping for between both games? Need an idea of when to get up. I'm not sleeping in between the games, mate. No, I'm not going to be sleeping. It's full time. I'm not going to be sleeping in between the games because that's danger territory for me. So I've been going to bed at like 9 a.m. in the morning and waking up at like 5 o'clock, maybe 3 o'clock to be honest. And then that's just me then. I'm awake through till about 8, 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. So I should be okay now for South Korea, Czech Republic. I'm all right. I'm going to go and have some tea, which is crazy when we're talking about, it'll be nearly midnight by the time I actually sit down and have my tea tonight. Right, 3-star. See you later, Night Owls, for the 3 a.m. game. Take care. That second red card was horrific. The second red or the third? It's not sounded like a dirty game. It's not, Sam, fancy watching Step Brothers at mine this weekend and staying for the sleepover. I think you and me should get an apartment together, mate. I really do. I've enjoyed the game, but then red is my favourite colour. Right. Well, listen, folks. I will be back at 2:45 a.m. 2:45 a.m. for South Korea versus Czech Republic. What a wonderful opening game we've had. Excellent opening game. Really appreciate everyone in the chat. I will see you all in a few hours' time. Take it easy. I'll see you soon.